Shit on the radio, the same news and I hate it, yo. Don't give a fuck if I made it, yo. I'm just a hater, yo. Middle fingers up, saying you won a Grammy, man, way to go.
Lindsey Gamble here. I'm here with Cam Meekins.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
How you doing, man? Good to see you.
As you know, it's HITP, Mass Apparel, and we're here with another interview trying to bring you the best talent out of Boston and beyond. First off, thank you for coming by.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
No doubt. Second off, congratulations on the new album.
Thank you.
1993, Volume 2. How do you feel?
I feel good. Came out a few days ago now. Still in like the top 10, top 20 on the hip hop charts, so that's definitely awesome. I'm just really happy with the reaction from those fans and everything. This album's been kind of a crazy process. It was my first completely independent release through my label, so just super excited.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like you're always, topping the charts of iTunes.
Yeah. I can't get past number 3 though. It's the second time now I've got to number 3. But
I mean, I guess bronze isn't too bad. No, yeah, kind of what you said. You're independent now. Before we get into the album, let's just talk about you being independent. You had a partnership with Atlantic Records.
Yeah.
And so what's your deal now, kind of being an independent artist completely? What's kind of the challenges you face, making this album and promoting it and everything else in the future with being an independent artist?
It's interesting because I think there's so many positives to kind of both situations. I think whether you decide to take the independent route as a musician or find a label to partner with or whatever. And for me, I think it just made more sense to be independent for what I'm trying to do. I love business, I love music, and kind of always wanted to combine the two. And I thought that partnering with Atlantic would take me to that point, and it did in a lot of ways. And really the biggest thing was I was just learning so much working with these higher level executives from Atlantic and everything. So I don't regret it at all because it was kind of a strategic play on my part to say, all right, well, at the time I was 18, I was like, let me do this, let me kind of take this as my college education, you know what I'm saying? Go out to LA, work with major labels, make a few albums, see how it goes, and then kind of apply it how I feel necessary kind of after I fulfilled my agreement with them, because it was a small deal, it wasn't a very binding agreement that I had to kind of play out for years and years and years, so I don't think there was too much risk involved. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So basically I had that whole process and it was great. And after going through that, and I put Lamp City out with them and I put Peace out with them, I decided that it was time for me to really take that next step as an entrepreneur to kind of put everything out solely through Lamp City Records, because before that it was kind of partnered with Atlantic/Lamp City and kind of a gray area, and now it's all under Lamp City Records, and it just feels great. I mean, all of the control is with us, and you get to run everything from merch to figuring out the tours and everything. So it's definitely a lot of work, but this is what I like about my career, So I'm not interested in just being an artist whose main job is to just go to the studio every night and call it a day. I love everything about it, so kind of taking this next step as an entrepreneur has been really fun.
Dope. I mean, that's great. I mean, especially for someone so young, you seem like you have a great business mind. So back on the whole business and being an entrepreneur, I feel like I always come across tweets from you talking about entrepreneurship and just business. So you have Lamp City Records. There's also Lamp City Media. I'm not too sure about. I'm sure everyone else would like to know exactly what it is.
Yeah. So everything is kind of developing right now, and obviously I think you talk to anyone who has that entrepreneurial bug, they want to talk a really kind of big game, and so for me, obviously the end goal is very big with Lamp City, and so I have the record label, and I have some other areas in business that I'm really trying to get involved in, technology. I really have a passion for media and news in general, so I kind of want to disrupt that industry as well. My whole kind of inspiration for anything that I do with the Lamp City kind of brand attached to it is really just about taking a outside the box approach to a category that makes a huge impact on our day to day. So music makes a huge impact on our day to day, right? News, technology. These are things that really dictate how we feel and how we act. And I think that there's a lot of ways that we can do things more efficiently and better. And so with Lamp City, that's what I'm trying to do, kind of as a broad spectrum. And more specifically, what I'm working on now is I'm getting into mobile app development with Lamp City Media, and also trying to start Lamp City News, which would be like a completely different format for news for young adults that's like much more fact-driven, like not headline-driven whatsoever, kind of like anti-BuzzFeed.
All right. Words. I'm definitely, I'm looking forward to that. That sounds cool. It sounds innovative. So let's get into the album. What was the whole process of making it? Because when I listen to it, it sounds very different than, Peace. It sounds very different than Lamp City. If I could describe myself, I may be wrong, but it sounds very free and experimental.
Yeah.
What was kind of your mind frame, like being in the studio, like working on it, kind of?
For sure.
What was the direction that you took with the album?
Yeah. So this one was really fun. It was like actually kind of like a combination of a lot of different factors. So some of the tracks on there, like Hater and Dreams, were actually ideas that I'd put together like even over a year ago with Maddie when I was back in Los Angeles, Maddie Trump. And so that kind of gave me like a foot in the door on the creative process. Like I had a few tracks that I had kind of been sitting on, like I really wanted to do something with. So then I took those tracks and tried to create a vibe. And I just wanted it to be a positive vibe, you know what I'm saying? Because I think this is a positive time in my career with the whole independent thing. And, I guess that's just how I felt. I think if you look through like any of my albums in my catalog, it's all about how I was feeling at the time. Whether it was like the Faces album was a very particular feeling, and Lamp City had a very particular I think urban feel that like you just wanted to like kind of move up and work hard. It had like a kind of like a grind feel, and Peace was like reflective and very like vibey. And I think that 1993 Volume 2 is similar to the original 1993 in the sense that it's a transition period. So 1993, the first one I did when I was 17, turning 18, graduating high school. And so, when you're like a senior graduating high school, what's going on in your life? You're
everything.
You're thinking like, oh, like I'm going, and I wasn't going to college, so I was like, oh, I'm like entering the real world, like, all my friends are moving on, like, I'm moving out of my house, like, there's just all this stuff going on, and you're so confused, right? And you're only like 17 or 18. And so I was writing about kind of the transition period, but also like how it was so fun, because you're like 18 or 17, and everything was just so fun. So the original 1993 had all that to inspire it. 1993 Volume 2, 3 or 4 years later, is a very similar transition period and a similar mind state of evolving and growing up, but just in a different way, because now I've turned 21, and that's like the next step. I think that's another transition period, whereas like there's all this kind of different stuff that's open to me now as an adult, more than just like being able to buy alcohol.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Biggest thing about 21.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
But like, no, I really do believe that like we go through these certain like, landmarks, and I think the two 1993s represent very particular landmarks, and that's why I wanted to do Volume 2 at this particular time. So that was kind of the inspiration for the whole project, and then with the music, it just kind of created that vibe that I was talking about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, it feels like a project that you can just turn on and just like let it play, and then and it does have a very positive.
Yeah, I wanted to like hit them back and forth. 10 tracks that you could just listen to that were just like good tracks.
Yeah, and it's all you besides Jit on the track. I believe he's the only feature.
Yeah. That's my dude.
But yeah, it's just dope. The Wiz Khalifa track. I like Dreams. It really opens up the project well. So you did like not so much a unique thing. Not that it hasn't been done before, but you had like the listening party through Twitter, through Ustream, and you had all your guys. You had Christmas, you had Tim, and the rest of your crew. The thing about that was that it's such a simple concept, but I always when artists do things like that, I always think it's crazy because like it's hard to get someone to sit there on the computer and video, like, it's hard just to get people to watch a YouTube video, but to have them like live, and it seems like you did a great job of that. The Twitter feed, the retweets and everything, we're going crazy. What gave you that idea, and like is that like something that you'll continue to use in like building your fan base?
Yeah, I think part of that is I gotta thank Tim, because Tim has such a unique way of thinking when you look at any rollout of a project. So for this 1993, we really wanted to kind of like take a really minimal approach, and the Ustream idea was kind of like our one thing that we wanted to do to just kind of like tap into the fans, but like because we weren't putting out like a music video or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
that's actually what I noticed too.
Like it was a very minimal rollout, everything, and it was calculated. We did that on purpose because we believed that there's not really a need right now with everyone's attention spans being so quick to kind of bombard you with so much content before an album comes out, because like people are gonna buy it if they want to buy it, like. And I respect my fans, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to give them kind of what we all want, and I try to think like what I would want kind of out of my relationship with an artist, and so that's what I tried to do with 1993. It was just like, all right, let's just hang out on Ustream, and like I'll be able to answer questions and tell you about each song. It's not a long album; it's only 35 minutes, so like, it's not a hard thing to do. And I think that taking that extra step as an artist is really important, because it gives you that connection to the fans that is really important to build the type of fan base that I want, which is not necessarily just the ones who just love the music, but they support the brand and they support me, and as an independent artist, like that's important, because that's my job, and so I have no one but them to thank. You know what I'm saying? And obviously like the team and people around me who kind of we all are this brand.
Well, yeah, because Tim, Christmas, you guys are all really doing some great things. So congratulations, and keep it going. Yeah. Before we wrap it up, you're back in Boston.
Yes.
Favorite spots to eat around here? Favorite things to do in Boston?
I mean, Anna's Taqueria is definitely my favorite spot to eat.
Good spot. I've been there once. I've been there once.
I gotta take you sometime.
I think I actually been there after your show.
Okay.
I think that was
yeah.
I think it was after. I believe it was at Bright Music Hall, but that's a good spot.
Yeah. Favorite things to do, like one activity. It's so tough because there's so many random things.
A couple of things, and we won't.
I like going to the Museum of Science.
Cool.
That's a
haven't been in a while.
I like playing basketball in the city. I play basketball at Boston University all the time. I sneak in there, and that's probably my favorite thing.
You gotta get a Boston hip hop tour, basketball tour.
I know. Me and Tim actually have been talking about doing something like that. So
yeah, Nick's been saying that too. Yeah. But hey, maybe we all can come together. I have not played basketball in years, so we'll see. But thank you, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And if you're watching, if you don't have 1993 Volume 2, go to iTunes, download it.
For sure.
And hit Cam up. Just Google it. Anything else?
Sounds good to me. Thanks, Lindsey.
Dope. Lindsey Gamble, Cam Meekins, HITP, Mass Apparel.